I don't want to work twice either. What about you? Not find a small little corner of the beanie bag where you can cry. That would be really sad. Does that mean that if you come in 30 minutes early, they can go home 30 minutes earlier? Yes, it makes sense. Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Preston. I'm a professional recruiter in the technology industry. But this video, I hope you're in the mood to smile or at least laugh because we are reacting to yet again more memes. Huge shout out to employee tiers on Instagram. They're absolutely hilarious. And if you're as excited as I am, you're ready to laugh, please consider support a fellow recruiter, give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. It would really, really mean a lot. Every company, we'd like to promote mental health in the workplace. Sounds good. Employees, how about hiring more people so we feel less pressured and increase our pay so we can keep up with the spiraling cost of living so we're not so stressed out? Reality. Every company, no, not like that. Try yoga. Oh man. Every company tries to think that employees just want a lot more perks like yoga, Pilates, shower room, gym, all these fancy schmancy stuff. And to an extent, while it actually works, what most people actually really care about is making sure that they're not burning out, that they're doing work every single day that fulfills them, and that they think that they can be at this company long term because they're stimulated, they're growing, and they're being challenged. Obviously, adding that to extra economic uncertainties that we're all in, increasing interest rates and inflation and higher just standards of living, people want to get paid more relative to that so that they can sustain it, their healthy, wonderful, positive lifestyle so they don't have to worry about, am I getting underpaid? Do I have to find a new job? Am I getting stressed out, burned out? That's just way too much stress that people need to go through. So companies, you gotta step it up. When you know it's time to quit, so it's a screenshot, new office rule in all caps underlined. For every minute you are late for work, you will be required to work for 10 minutes after 6 p.m. So 1 minute equals 10 minutes, 2 minutes equals 20 minutes. For example, if you arrive at 10:02, you will have to stay an extra 20 minutes until 6:20. I honestly hope that this is a joke because this is just absolutely wrong and it's horrible. You should not do this. Now this person, Andy, he tweeted to this saying, does that mean that if you come in 30 minutes early, they can go home 30 minutes earlier? Yes, it makes sense. What do you guys think? If you come in 3 minutes early, does that mean you can go 30 minutes earlier? It makes sense. If it works one way, why can't it work the other way? But honestly, man, this is bad. I hope that this is a joke. I hope this is not real. If you're working at this company, get out of there right now. PTO stands for prepare the others because I won't be there. PTO actually stands for paid time off. And while this is wonderful in the sense that like people need to really take advantage of the PTO vacation days, if you have them, use them. America is notorious where people just go through the whole year with tons of PTO days remaining. Use your vacation days. They're there for a reason. Go, recharge, decompress, travel somewhere. Go, make up a reason just to get out for the weekend and use those days. But the funny thing is, while it's good for the person taking vacations, depending on your company, depending on your team or division, if you leave, sometimes that means other people on your team will have to pick up the slack or take over your desk or just take over your clients or take over any additional work that you were working on while you were gone. And that means more work for them while you are out there enjoying your vacation. So this is exactly what it's talking about. But I love how it says PTO stands for prepare the others, and they prepare the others not in a good way. They're not going to be thrilled. They're not going to be happy or excited. They're probably going to want to take their own PTO and get out of there as well. I had a dream I was at work. I woke up and called off, I ain't working twice. Nope. I don't want to work twice either. What about you? Gives it 110% at work. Slowly putting on makeup. Never misses a day or comes in late. Putting on more makeup. What is he becoming? Doesn't use PTO or sick days. Puts on the rainbow hair. Doesn't get promoted because they're too valuable to production and they're a clown. And while this is an excessive exaggeration, I think this is just the harsh truth for a lot of people. Like this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. America specifically as a country, we're just known to overwork and not really enjoy our PTO and vacation days. So if you are in that group, please do whatever you can for the remainder of this year and next year. Plan your vacation days and get out of there. But in our society, people are known to just work and always prioritize work over everything else in life, giving it 110%, never missing a day or even coming in late. They don't use any PTO days, doesn't get promoted because they're too valuable to production. At the end of the day, you guys are the perfect employees in the perspective of the corporations. We're just working so hard, you're never enjoying life, never taking vacations. And of course, from a company's perspective, they want to keep you there instead of elevating you or managing you because you're just giving so much value at your own personal expense to the company. You do not want to do that. Work is just one aspect and one pillar of life. Make sure that you look after yourself, recharge, decompress. As soon as it hits 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., whatever it is of your day, log off, go offline, go on a hike, and just stop working. This is every company's dream, but this is not your dream. So make sure that yes, it's important to work hard, but do it with certain boundaries that are set so you look after yourself short-term and long-term. When they ask you to show the new employee around, this is where I come to cry. Cool. I think this is funny because on anyone's first day, right, they kind of go through this honeymoon phase, like, wow, this is the office, oh my God. And in tech and startups, some of the offices are really cool. You can really get a high. Here's the gym, here's Pilates, here's free food, here's free snacks, massage parlors, like, wow, like that's incredible, right? But then when you're an employee, you've been there for a long time, none of this phases you anymore. But aside from perks and benefits, it doesn't matter if you're in an office with these amazing perks. Yeah, like you know the real truth of working at this job. And sometimes it may be a horrible company to work at. Maybe like the person's about to join a team and the existing employee knows like the hiring manager of that team is just absolutely horrible. Or they just know that maybe this person who's coming in excited and has that puppy dog excited, elated eyes might just end up quitting in 6 months. So it's just really, really, really sad. And I just honestly hope that if you're getting a new job, you're there for the long term. You can grow, you can be fulfilled in every manner that you want a job to fill you in, and not find a small little corner of the beanie bag where you can cry. That would be really sad. If your job is to tell me how to do my job, you should at least know how to do my job. I actually completely vibe with this, and please share with me your experience. Fundamentally, I believe that respect should be earned, right? Or instead of just handed to you because of your title. And what that means is that managers and leaders, in my opinion, should lead by example. If you're just a manager and you're telling people to do this and you actually never done it, how can you get the respect or trust of your team? You're the last one in the office, first one to leave. It's easy for people to get the wrong idea of what a manager should be, rather than seeing someone that's higher above them, that's almost working as hard or harder than they are. And then from there, that's where you can kind of gain immediate respect and trust. But I totally get it. Like managers in finance can mean some completely different from manager in recruiting, manager in sales, manager in marketing. But I think fundamentally, you know the cliche saying, like, if you don't do, you can't teach. And I think that's fundamentally true for a lot of things. Like if you've never done it, you can't teach it. But then if you're trying to teach someone to do it and they know you've never done it, how are they supposed to take you seriously, let alone like really believe that you know exactly what you're talking about? So I think us leaders should serve by example. And I think the best leaders are the ones that worked in those IC, the individual contributor roles, absolutely crushed it. And then your team will look up to you naturally being, wow, you're good at what you did. Now please teach me, please help manage me. Yeah, so like those are my thoughts. I think managers should be there to serve and manage a team, let alone just pointing like a person on their throne, like do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. I know in certain industries that's appropriate, but like I think for me, if I were to look at a manager that's managing me, if I knew that they were just amazing at their job and they became a manager based on performance and just for valid reasons, I would just be a lot more inclined to just be more open-minded, listen to them, have respect for them, and trust them that whatever they're telling me, they know exactly what they're talking about. When the coworker you hate starts to talk about finding a new job, you can do it. I wish you loved everyone at your job or at your company or on your team, but sadly that's not the truth. And while this is kind of like a funny meme, I think a lot of people can relate to this, that if you are working at a job, perhaps it's your competitor or someone you just don't like, or you just have a lot of friction, and no matter how hard you try, it's just not gonna work out. And they're like, you know what, this is my last year, I'm leaving. A small part of you would be a little bit happy because yes, this is like another drama that I don't have to deal with in my job, while I have so many other things more important to worry about. So that's kind of funny. When I get to work, I first hide because a good worker is hard to find. Well, technically a good worker should be hard to find because they're hard at work and they don't need to be micromanaged. But you can hide as well. Find a good closet, find a good cabinet, go into the kitchen cabinets, find a closet no one goes into, and just pretend you're working really, really hard. I think if you can do that and you can maintain a job and still get paid full time, you hacked it. You hacked the perfect job. If you have ever sat in the toilet at work and wondered how long you can sit there before someone searches for you, the answer is 47 minutes. Without going into this too much in detail, that is pretty hilarious. I don't know if this is correct. If you tried this, if you agree with it, let me know down below. I don't have any comments to this, but yes, we can all relate the awkward corporate bathrooms, or even just not the bathroom. If you're just going out for a break, even if it's 5, 10, 15 minutes, you can't really enjoy it because you're just, a part of your brain is always wondering, is my manager noticing? Am I gonna be like put on some sort of plan now? Are they gonna start watching me, counting my minutes, making me feel guilty? And I think that's just like a really unfortunate truth for a lot of companies and their culture. A lot of jobs you can't take breaks, and if you do, they somehow do a a great job in guilt tripping you while you're on a break so you don't take a break in the first place. I think it's small little things that companies do to get into the brain of the employees and teams, not in the best way, but I hope that, hey, whatever you have to do, bathroom breaks, whatever, you can just do it guilt-free, get the job done, come back to work and crush it. Man returns to work after vacation with fresh, re-energized hatred for the job. Oh no, look how happy he is. Not look how sad he is. That's the worst feeling ever, is like you hate your job and then you book a vacation, you have an amazing time on vacation, you get re-energized, you have a time of your life, gets, you know, sun-kissed if you're going on the beach, and you come back to your office and you just get reminded how much you hate your job. Who's been there? I definitely have been there, and not a good feeling at all. To whomever is placing googly eyes all over the office, please stop. Thank you. Googly eyes. What a troll. Boss congratulating me for loyalty. Me, who keeps applying but can't get any other jobs.
Run.
No! Get out of there! That's horrible. That's horrible. Yeah, it's like, you know, when you're at a job, you just never know if your other coworkers are actively looking for other jobs. That should be the case. I think for people who are looking for jobs and get caught, that can be very, very awkward. But then people who go out there and, you know, they're constantly applying and they can't get a job, and then they stay at their current job for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 16 months, 18 months, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. The company could believe, and your manager could believe, wow, this person loves the job, they're loyal, they've been here for X, Y, and Z. But then honestly, like, this person just can't get any other job, and I think that's absolutely horrible. And if you're in that situation, make sure to reach out to a good recruiter and they can maybe help you out, revise, optimize your resume, cover letter, your strategy, and hopefully get you on the right track so you can get to a job that's exciting, that pushes and fulfills you in many, many more ways. My 2 work modes. Number 1, I've done 30 minutes of work in 8 hours. Number 2, I've done 8 hours of work in 30 minutes. Are you 1 or are you 2? I know people in my network who has a ridiculously high paying job, and were able to set it and optimize their job in a way where they literally work, well, not 30 minutes, that'd be amazing, but maybe like 2 to 3 hours max, but they still get paid the ridiculous high annual salary. And I think that is absolutely amazing. If you're one of the few that figured out a way to just coast in a high paying job, I mean, that is probably everyone's dream, working at a job to aspire to. So if you're in that situation, you have any secrets, please let us know below. But doing 8 hours of work in 30 minutes, I think that sounds overwhelming and crazy for a lot of people, but this is what I do, and I try to make myself do as a full-time recruiter every single day. I just try to be hyper optimized and try to do as much work as I can in a certain amount of time so that I don't have to work for 10, 12, 13 hours. And I've done the equivalent of maybe 10, 12, 13 hours of work in a time range of 7, 8, 9 hours. I think it's really important to be more efficient, always find ways where you can produce more, optimize your time, use better tools, use better time management skills. But if you're in the 1 category, I hope it's in a way where you are able to kind of coast and you somehow optimized and hacked your job instead of just being really, really lazy or intentionally not doing any work, and hope you're not putting yourself on the line of losing your job. You're asking for a pretty high salary for someone who has no experience in this field. Well, this job is gonna be super hard since I have no idea what I'm going to do. I mean, hey, whatever you want, ask for it. Make sure it's within reason. Whatever you ask for in a salary, just make sure your reasons are valid. If it's just like, hey, I'm applying for this job, I'm looking for something ridiculous, $300,000 for a job that you know you're not qualified for, or you have no idea what you're gonna do, maybe it's not the best job for you to apply in the first place. Asking for a high salary because you don't know what you're gonna do, obviously it's an exaggeration, but it's not the best reason to use that as a reason to justify for a high salary. Whatever salary that you're gonna ask for, make sure it makes sense, back it up with research, back it up with personal accomplishments and success stories, and then make sure it's obviously appropriate to your line of work in your industry and your geographic location where the company is based out of. When a coworker is telling you a story and you're wondering what would happen if you punched them, we all have those coworkers who just love to talk. What happens sometimes is those coworkers that just love to talk about their weekend every Monday morning, and they just go on for a huge rant, and you just want to work, or you just need to get to high priority items and this person won't stop talking. Not out of hatred, not resentment. We of course love our coworkers, but sometimes keep it short, let us get back to work or do what we want to do. Don't resort to violence. Do not punch them. Just ended an email with, please let me know if you have any questions or would like to discuss. And this person replied asking if I'm available right now. I'm literally shaking right now. How many of you actually use this? I actually use this all the time. But you know, when I actually write this, I don't expect the person to, first of all, respond, 2, respond right away, and 3, be available literally like that day. I'm hoping that maybe if they do have questions, they can follow up with me in at least several hours or the next day or the day after, because you know, you want to write this email, you're like, okay, cool, it's out there, I can shift on to something else, perhaps you have a meeting, perhaps you have to prepare for something big, and then this person's like, you know what, I need to talk right now, and you just can't fit them in, or they just caught you by surprise and you weren't suspecting it, and you're like, oh my God, now I need to make time for this person to talk about this. So I appreciate on one hand someone being really responsive, but on the second time, I think it's all of our hope deep down inside that you don't have to address this like right now. Give us some time, give us a moment to breathe, and then reach out back to us. My boss, you are fired. Me, pause Netflix, why? Oh man, again, I think if you are one of those lucky few that managed to have a great job and you're watching cat videos or Netflix or sports in a way where you still come off hardworking, loyal to the company, you somehow found the amazing formula, the recipe for optimally hacking your job and crushing it in your career. I'm not saying you should watch Netflix at work, but if you're one of the few that do secretly and no one knows about, kudos to you. But obviously, if you watch Netflix, you do something that's unwork related openly, and then your job's on the line, you get kicked off, don't act surprised because it's happening. Typically, if you're about to get fired or you get fired from a job, ideally, it should come as no surprise. You should know why you're having the conversation, and you should know that if you continue, it's going to end up doing it. And hopefully, if that happens, you have a plan B. Perhaps you already have another job offer, your leg's off the ground, maybe you're working on a freelance or a venture that's taken off, and you're just slowly phasing out of your current job. But I hope you're not openly doing silly things at work when you're about to lose your primary income that supports your lifestyle with no plan B or contingency plan. Before you say, quote, hello, my weekend was good, my 4th was good, ate some hot dogs, they were good, saw some fireworks, also good. Please don't make small talk with me, I'm extremely busy. I really don't care about what you and your grandkids were up to. This is just what I was talking about. Sometimes you just want to work. Sometimes you need to focus. And you don't want to hear about all the other stories and all the other questions and all the small chat. I think small chat's great for generally making people feel sane, they can interact, socialize with other people, but sometimes they're in that work mode, you need to get things done. This is a great way to be like, hey, read this, I'm busy, talk to you later. When you stay silent through the whole Zoom meeting, but you say thanks everyone at the end to make it seem like you contributed, who's guilty? Raise your hand. I totally have done this. Sometimes you just don't know what they're talking about. Sometimes you don't want to engage, you're not feeling well. Other times you're just not in the mood, and then maybe someone else is taking all your talking points and you're just there for the sake of being there because it's a team meeting. And then when that call is about to end, it always ends something like, hey, thank you for your time, have a great day. Everyone then says thank you, thank you, thank you. You then say thank you. That's the only 2 words you say in the entire Zoom meeting, just to contribute, just to be polite and part of the team, and then you log off. But man, this is hilarious. This is the real truth. If you're guilty of this, let me know. I know some people who do this all the time. But you know, I think for unique reasons, I think there's no harm in this. Sometimes maybe you have to be in a meeting and you don't have to be the only one talking. Just to say these 2 words to make it seem like you're contributing to get those brownie points, I mean, that's pretty funny. That's a little bit sad, but that's also really, really funny. I asked my boss for a raise and he said, what for? I told him 3 different companies are after me. He asked which ones. I said the gas company, water company, and electric company. Run. No! I'm hoping people get paid at the bare minimum to be comfortably able to afford the gas, water, and electric. If not, try to find another job that can. Or maybe is there any way that you can bolster or increase your pay? But if you have this conversation with your boss when you figure out, you know what, I deserve a pay, I deserve an annual review, and you ask for a raise and they say for what, I think that signals a red flag. I think typically kind of like getting fired, you should know that's going to happen. If you deserve a raise, companies should kind of know, your manager should know that you've done X, Y, and Z, you should deserve it. And if you deserve it, then they should just continue along with that conversation constructively with you to get that raise. But if you're like really asking for a raise, the company has no idea, I think that's wrong. I think that's really, really sad. And then of course, you know, saying, hey, I need a raise because inflation's rising, my cost of living's rising, I can't even afford to live, then I think that's 1 of 2 things. You're in the wrong job, they're severely underpaying you, get out of there. And number 2, it's a really, really bad sign that the company and manager doesn't see or understand why you're having this conversation in the first first place. To both those two reasons, you should leave as fast as possible. Me texting my work bestie, hey, after work, can I come over to your house and just cry for an hour? Yes, obviously. Oh no, that's so sad. It's everyone's wish that, you know, whatever job that you have, that you're happy all the time, you never get frustrated, you never get stressed, you never cry, you never get anxious, you never get angry, but that's not the truth. And yes, I think like it's healthy to cry, it's healthy to, you know, vent with your friends. I think this is another harsh truth of just working. Not all jobs are perfect by any means. And if you just need to let it out, you need to let it out. Hopefully you feel better and you can show up to the next day and continue to crush it. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. Hope you did too. If you want me to make more videos like these, please make sure you comment down below. If you like these videos, want to see more like it, feel free to support a fellow recruiter. Give us a like, subscribe, click that bell, really means a lot. Feel free to also follow me at Preston_Park, as I try my best to also post behind the scenes content daily. Thank you so much again. I'll see you on the next one.